Hello, good morning and good evening, everyone. I am Srinivas Kantipudi, Director of QA at Jubilee. It feels great to be part of TestFlix. Thank you, TestLive team, for this opportunity. So my topic today is on how functional testers can become powerhouse by using small tools, small tools, plugins. I work with a lot of functional testers, seen some of them limiting themselves. So hope this helps. So if you have heard of close aid support, so this is a military tactic where when the ground troop, when they spot enemy, they'll call in for aid support. And then this aid support will come in and clear majority of the area. And then the ground troop moves in and checks every small area to clean the rest of the enemies. Right now, coming to testing, we have broadly divided the testing into functional and non-functional, right? Functional is about, like, in functionality, we have subcategories like regression, sanity, integration, and other things. And then we have usability, localization, other types of functional testing. We usually have non-functional teams, which sometimes it's combined, sometimes separate, but like performance, security, user experience, where they go in deep. They use more tools, they go in deep. So now, what if functional testers that I talked about can be aid support for these non-functionals, can clear the major areas, like in performance, clear the major areas of it, and then non-functional team can go more deep. They don't have to be blocked at the beginning, finding small issues. Similarly, security is. So how can we do that? Performance. Let's take this small example. When you're testing web UI, Lighthouse is a very popular tool from Google to check the performance of your website. When you run this kind of tools, when you use these tools, so this website is very popular with most of the QA. Right? So I ran the Lighthouse report here, and it gives me this report. Now I can go into details, like look at accessibility and say, like, okay, what is accessibility? Why does it say a button needs a name? When do we use screen readers? Who uses screen readers? And then you go deep. Okay, now we have WCAG guidelines, Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. What are those? Do we need them? Even if your website doesn't completely support WCAG guidelines, you might still get an idea on like why it is, how it is used. And then you go into best practices, you look into CORS, you understand what CORS is, and you understand what libraries we are using. And you can start a conversation with Dev. Okay, why are we using older version of jQuery here? Are we using a minified version? All this will expand your horizon, right? It will help you in thinking into different ways. And then, like, you might have been using Postman, JMeter, and other things. They give you like the response time. Pick the API, HTTP method, and then put it in the Postman, and it directly gives you the time. Okay, this is the time it takes. 2.68 seconds in this case. So then now you start it. Okay, do we need to have standard across our web page? Like it should load in this much time. But can we make standards? Those are all the conversations we can make when we use this small tool. You'll get more ideas. When we say security, OWS OWASP comes into the mind first. They publish the guidelines every year, top 10 vulnerabilities. So you have like all the SQL injection, cross-site scripting, they're all in like every year they are there. Now you pick them. Okay, what is SQL injection? What does that mean? How can you don't have to write everything. You just go here, go to your browser and say like, what is SQL injection? Can I get some samples? Maybe from GitHub. And you can definitely find a lot of samples there. You pick them, try to paste them in your text fields, any field that you have in your web UI, and see how it is in your login text field, in your password, any text field, any text area. Similarly, cross-site scripting. What are the different payloads I can use? You just have to type it. You need to be smart. You don't have to write everything. Go inside and see like, okay, now these are all the XSS payload that I can use. Copy one of it, paste it in your content. You'll see if it's all good or not, right? And if you want to go a little more deeper, there is fuzz testing, very, very powerful one, yet not like a very underutilized. I found this in one of the slide share presentations on how it is helpful. It can be two types. One is just random and one is structured. The random will be like if you search for a program, you can find a 4-5 lines program about fuzz testing where it can generate random data. But it can be structured also, depending on, okay, I want to target DB. How can I do? What kind of data can I do? All the reserved keywords, null, true, all these keywords. If I'm targeting app servers, what can be the data that is like that I can use for fuzz testing? And then find out, do we have libraries? If I'm using a tool, do I have a library for fuzz testing? And then similarly, usability testing, accessibility testing. When you're testing the tool, when you're testing your product, you click on like there are tools like Wave, right? There is an extension called Wave. What it does is it just gives you, go to any page and click on it. It tells you all the elements that does not adhere to WAC guidelines. And then you can go through them to understand what this is. What does this mean? Do I need to raise this? Do I need to start a dialogue on this? Similarly, there are many other websites. Like this is a very good example that I like. You can never have, this might have been fixed, very old. I found it somewhere. You can never have this website at some time. They have like, they have this screen for showing the tickets, free, available, block, all this, right? So now if I go to this color blindness simulator page that I found, I uploaded the same screen. This is how it looks for a color blinded. Complete monochromacy is complete color blind. It's like gray, everything appears gray. And we have 5% of the population is colorblind, right? So this is the actual, if I hover over, this is the actual UI, but to a colorblind person, this is how it shows. Not at all useful. And there are like other kinds of color blindness. You can check that how it looks, what are this. So this is like a small site which can help you. And now you can look at your UI and say, do I have anything this way in my UI? The simple things that I can do, put a small tick mark, something like that. It's like small thing, small symbol saying like booked or something, right? So these are the tools. There are many. If you just go search, there are like hundreds of tools, hundreds of plugins available. You just have to start using, expand through them, go deep, and you can definitely, anyone can definitely become powerhouse.